Hey everyone, this is Nick O'Malley here with Kevin Dillon here at MassLive, here to finally kind of just settle into the off-season now that the fallout from the Super Bowl started to settle down. It's finally starting to look ahead to 2018. Kevin, you excited or you missing the football already?
I mean, I'm missing football already. It's been 1 week, and it's weird not going to the practices. Weird not hearing Bill Belichick give you no answers, and I've gotten quite used to that. And so now it's just kind of trying to figure out what this offseason is going to look like for the New England Patriots. They've got a bunch of questions just based on upcoming free agents. Or their own draft picks, or what are they going to do with the quarterback position. There's a lot of things to take a look at, and so we're going to dig into a few of them here. Now, just looking forward to 2018. You know, Bill Belichick is probably like 400 pages deep into his offseason log at this point. He already is onto the draft, onto free agency, onto finding different ways to improve his team. So I think we should maybe get started on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing heading into this offseason, I think, is the defense and looking at this team and just kind of looking at the New England Patriots right now. If you're looking at this team right now, what would you say their number one need is right now heading into 2018?
I think the number one need clearly is at linebacker. They had a lot of trouble there this season. They had some patchwork players in there. They had Marquise Flowers ended up playing a significant role after he didn't really play much of a role with the Bengals, and he did fine, but it wasn't necessarily an elite level player right there. Landon Roberts just could not do anything in coverage. He was kind of a guest player, and so if he guessed run, he could do well, but teams would pick on him a little bit in the passing game, and so finding an extra linebacker that can cover, someone that has a little bit more speed, that can be more versatile there, that's going to be important. And obviously having Dante Hightower back will improve that unit, but getting someone in there, Hightower, Van Noy, and maybe one more person is going to be key. And so that's probably, I think, the biggest area of need. Whether they address that in free agency or the draft is another story. Just looking at the free agents, my guess is they'll try to find someone in the draft.
Yeah, and I agree with you, linebacker. I think when it comes down to it, the Patriots' biggest need right now is Dante Hightower. They missed him so much at the end of the season. They need pass rush help on the edge. Dante Hightower does that. They need coverage. Dante Hightower. They need better communication defense. Hightower. They need a better job stopping the run. These are all things. Dante Hightower does pretty much everything well, and they needed linebackers. They had so many different deficiencies back there. I think they also need some pass rush help. They have a really good player in Trey Flowers. I don't know if James Harrison's coming back. He generated some pressures in the Super Bowl, but what they need to see whether or not they think that Adam Butler and Dietrich Wise are going to develop into solid pass rushers and throw Derek Rivers in there, even though he missed the season. They need to figure out where their talent is there. I think they need to add some depth. I think if they're going to add a free agent, it would be as a guy on the outside who can help rush a passer. I don't think it's going to be one of the top line guys. Those guys are usually really expensive, like DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys, Ziggy Ansah from the Lions. Those guys are top of the market guys. The Patriots might make a deal similar in the range to what they got like from Lawrence Guy. Lawrence Guy is more of a run stuffer. What they need is the Lawrence Guy of rushing the passer, a guy that's like in the middle of his career, not a great contributor, but a guy that can develop in this system.
Right, yeah, and I mean, I can't see the Patriots cashing in on a big pass rusher because that's not what they do. I mean, they let Chandler Jones go, and he led the league in sacks last season. They're looking for guys that are more versatile on the outside, so I think they're going to really take a look and see what they have in Dietrich Wise and Derek Rivers, because those are guys who drafted in the third and fourth rounds last year, and they're guys who may be projected to develop into starting players. We don't know what they have in Derek Rivers yet. He came out of Youngstown State and maybe was a little raw. This season where he's pretty much just had to rehab his ACL, they haven't really had a chance to look and see what they had in him. So it really depends on what their evaluation of him is. Dietrich Wise, I thought was pretty good at times this year. They used him as an interior rusher and an outside rusher, so they will probably take a look at and see what he is.
He barely played in the Super Bowl, though, which was surprising. You usually like to see rookies develop throughout the year, but he did not finish strong this year.
Right, and I mean, part of that Super Bowl performance was likely because he just suffered a concussion the week before, and so he didn't practice as much, but he did have a couple sacks at the end of the season. He was up and down. He had probably a big dull spot in the middle of the season, but at the beginning of the season and the end of the season, he ended up picking up some sacks. So we'll see what they think of Dietrich Wise, and then maybe they could add a veteran on the outside. I know my guess is Muhammad Wilkerson will be released because of his contract, and the Patriots love picking up former guys from the AFC East. So maybe Muhammad Wilkerson's the guy that they look at, someone that's versatile, that can rush the passer. But it'll be interesting to see where they turn to for that role. I mean, they have some early picks, but they don't have the depth in picks that they typically have in this year's draft. So we'll see how the Patriots play it.